Afternoon is live. That the anchor man is live here on ABC. Again, I have a very special guest with me today, and let me do you a little justice to bring to you my guest that I have with me today. I shall be bringing him in subsequently in the less than no time. You all know the face that you see on your screen. One of the fiercest critic of La Republic that Ambazonia has on ground zero, the one and only Barrister Ashu Emmanuel. Again, he will be back here really soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be exciting. Go ahead and you hit your share button. Go ahead and hit your share button as I take a few announcements before we delve into the broadcast proper. All right, so please, as you join, go ahead and hit your share button. Let's get the maximum out there on this platform, on ABC platform at this moment. It is an important broadcast, a very exciting broadcast. Now, before we get there, as usual, I like to take a few updates and a few announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, waking up this morning, I'm sure quite a number of you found a certain a certain article written by a certain Africa Intelligence magazine or newspaper. I don't know where that magazine or newspaper is based, but that African intelligence story, so-called story. By the way, I am not sure, ladies and gentlemen, that story is written by any magazine. Somebody has photoshopped, made a clone copy of that magazine and put it out there as if the magazine is reporting a legitimate story. That story is not legitimate. The story that says that the Swiss government and the SD have all suspended and walked away from the Swiss initiative, that is 200% fabrication. I hope you got me. Again, that is a 200% fabrication. I am hearing that that story was actually photoshopped and drafted by Capo Daniel. So do not take that for a legitimate story. Everything about the Swiss initiative is still intact. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And let me let you know, if anything should change about the Swiss initiative, there are only three groups that you will hear it from. Number one, it would have to come either from the Swiss themselves or come from us here at the interim government and of course the ACT team, or it will come from French Cameroon denying participation, collaboration in the Swiss initiative. So, no matter what you read out there, except unless you hear from any of these three, be it from us at the interim government and the ACT team, be it from from the Swiss or the La République du Cameroon, do not take anything for news, ladies and gentlemen, because we understand the ploys of the enemy out there to discourage and to get many of you worried about what is going on. Everything about the Swiss initiative is intact. So please, I'm waiting for your 700 people to bring you this broadcast proper. Again, I have a fabulous guest today. And I can't wait to get him on. So please, as you join, go ahead and hit your share button. The moment you give me 700 people, as usual, I will come to you with this broadcast proper. So please disregard that so-called Africa Intelligence publication suggesting or alleging that the Swiss talks have been cancelled. Nothing can be farther from the truth. We are still prepared. The Swiss have not cancelled it. Nobody has cancelled it. Again, if it is cancelled, you will hear it from us. You will hear it from the Swiss and maybe from La Republic. So far, everything remains intact. All right. I hope you get that and you take the news out there and let our saboteurs and detractors know they fool themselves. So, secondly, I want to speak to people in Le Biya'S. People in Le Biya'S, ladies and gentlemen, we have good intelligence. We have good intelligence that La République du Cameroon is planning a huge invasion on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve in Le Biya'S. So if you live in Le Biya'S, we want all of you, please stay home. If you have to celebrate Christmas and of course the New Year, stay home. And we will extend this announcement to everyone, every community, every town and city in all of Ambazonia. Please, last week, La République du Cameroon sent out a press statement asking their troops to withdraw from all of our territory back into their barracks. That thing is a ploy. What they have taught is on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, Ambazonian restoration fighters shall go out to be celebrating. And what they have planned is in other cities and towns, they are sending out snipers to track down, to shoot, to kill Amba restoration forces. So we are encouraging every Ambazonian, please stay home, prepare your food, whatever your drinks, stay home and celebrate your Christmas. Do not go out jumping here and there in the name of Christmas, because La République du Cameroon plans to attack and to kill our people on Christmas Day and New Year Day. It is not a lockdown. There is no lockdown on New Year Day or Christmas Day. There is no ghost town New Year Day or Christmas Day. But we are saying, for your own security, for your own safety, whatever you have to do on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, please stay home, cook your food and buy your drinks and stay home to consume it. Do not venture going out because it may not be good. It may not be good. So please stay home. But particularly for the people in Le Biya'S, we have the news for you also. There is going to be an invasion of Le Biya'S on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, at least we know, between Christmas Eve and the New Year. So if you are in Le Biya'S, especially in the Menji, Azi, Inje, Mbindia, Esoata, Lekong, and I mean all those areas, all those areas, please stay home and celebrate. Do not go to any beer parlor, do not go to any bar, get your drinks if any, stay home, celebrate with your family. These are not normal times. Stay home. And also, we have now learned that because of the attack yesterday in the BLM, the Red Dragons staged a ferocious attack on La République du Cameroon forces and destroyed five of their armored cars. Now, this is what La République is doing, and we want them to know we are aware of every bit of their intelligence. La République has now diverted from entering or leaving Le Biya'S by through Chang. They have now tried to live through Manfe, a road that is impassable. We now understand La République is trying to use Le Biya'S Manfe road out of the town. We want you to know we are aware of your plans. We know your tricks. If you think that you can use that way to enter and to escape, well, the same people the same dragons will come after you. You have no place to hide inside Le Biya'S. La République will have no place to hide, and nowhere to enter, whether by air, by land, whatever means, into Le Biya'S or out of Le Biya'S. So you can take Manfe and try to get out of there, but I bet you the dragons are coming after you. Ladies and gentlemen, a few more people to go before we hit 700 people. We have 630 guests right now. So please, as you join, again, I have a very, very important guest here tonight. Important guest here tonight. You can all see the face on your screen, the one and only Barrister Emmanuel Ashu joining me, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from ground zero. So please hit your share button. Let's get into this broadcast shortly. All right, so please, I hope that every one of you, you got that announcement about the threat on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. Please, we're encouraging every family on ground zero to stay home. Please stay home on Christmas Day. Stay home on Christmas Day. And of course, New Year's Day, and if possible, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, we encourage you to stay home. We encourage you to stay home. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have now hit the 700 mark and above. So, I will have no reason to keep you waiting. I will have no reason to keep you waiting. So, please, thanks for joining the broadcast. Thanks for joining the broadcast, and have no reason again to keep you waiting. Thanks for joining this broadcast. I will now take you into this broadcast proper. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's a very, very privilege to have Barrister Ashu right here with me on the set, joining me all the way from ground zero. So, you all have noticed that Barrister Ashu has become the defender of the revolution on ground zero. We watch him on Equinox Television and other networks on ground zero, ferociously defending the Amazonian cause, the Amazonian revolution. Now, I'd like you to know that Barrister Ashu owns a political party on ground zero that is called the Reform Party. The Reform Party. But he is also a lawyer, as we hear the title, barrister. He is also a lawyer. And so, he has been one of those very agitative of what a lot of people to Cameroon has been trying to do. In the name of reforms, what we call window dressing reforms, aim at resolving this conflict. I had opportunity to speak with Barrister Ashu, and I asked him to join me today. Let us look at what French Cameroon is trying to do to resolve this conflict, and whether this can solve the problem. Barrister Ashu, it's a very big pleasure to have you here today, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, fellow brethren and sisters.
Barrister, can you hear me?
Good evening, I can hear you. Hello?
Hello, Barrister.
Oh my.
Okay, I can hear you now. Hello, Barrister.
Oh, please, good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to have you on the ABC Amber Television. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing great.
Wonderful. Now, let us start with this. You have been very vocal against all the reforms from the bilingualism legislation to the special status that they have all been trying to use. Of course, the so-called grand national dialogue also. All these efforts that have been trying, the regime in French Cameroon has been putting in place as a way of resolving this conflict, this war, genocidal war. Are you not afraid? Are you not afraid of your life?
it is God who gives life, God who takes away life. And if all of us have to be afraid of our lives, then we have nothing to live for our children, nothing to live for posterity. So as to stand up and tell these people what is correct, because Cameroon belongs to everybody. It is not one person's property.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, have you gotten any threats so far? Have you gotten any threats?
In all honesty, I have received no threats. On the contrary, everybody around me is instead everything for the good work done, irrespective of tribe or origin.
Right. Now, how old is your political party, the Reform Party?
Reform Party was legalized in 1997, 28th of July 1997.
Now, is this still in existence, or you now consider it a thing of the past, considering that we are talking about a new country, Ambazonia, and you being one of those, one of the Ambazonians?
The Reform Party is very alive. In fact, it's a party that was created in Douala, whose headquarters is in Douala, and it's a national political party. So it's very alive. In fact, we ought to have taken part in the elections, but due to the fact that we cannot be going to elections when
I'm sorry, we are having difficulties getting your audio. The audio is...
I said... okay.
We are hearing you. We are hearing you, just that the audio is cutting off and on. I think it's a network issue. It's not you. But go ahead. Go ahead. You said the party is based in Douala.
It's based in Douala. We ought to have taken elections. We want this conflict over before any elections can take place.
Okay, so if you are Ambazonian and you have a political party that is based in La République du Cameroun, I know, of course, you are based there yourself. Are you for an independent Southern Cameroon, or you are for a united Cameroon or a federal Cameroon? Because I suppose that every Ambazonian by now should know that we are fighting and looking for a new country, and any political formation would have to wait until that moment comes for those things to be created. So which one are you?
Thank you very much. You see, I hear some people saying that I'm a federalist. They are grossly mistaken. I am not a federalist. I stand by the rule of law, and when you look at the rule of law, it is defined clearly in the resolution 1608 of 21st of 1961. And that resolution clearly states that the two Cameroons were coming together as equal partners. And so in that case, we have two independent states that have to come together. We can only have confederation. So I am saying that we must go back to 1961 and do what was not completed. If they cannot sign the Union Treaty, then some other way has to be found out.
I get you, but you have not answered the question of involving your party. Is your party for Ambazonia or for French Cameroon? I have no doubt you are a strong, one of the strongest advocate for Ambazonia on ground zero. But when you have a political party that would have maybe campaigned for elections, 10 elections in French Cameroon, somebody begin to question where your allegiance lies.
Now, the political party's program is based on what was tabled in 1997, and that was on the application of the Constitution as it is. That is true local government, not the one that is inside the Constitution. You see, when we created this party, there was no fight for Ambazonia, There was nothing like the struggle we have. So the political party was geared towards the implementation of the constitution as it is. That is to say, and the putting in place of local government that is provided for in the constitution. And we see that they have taken now from the position of putting everything in France, and they're trying to go towards our position in the party. So the party stands for true decentralization, true local, because decentralization is true local government, which is inside the constitution. I want to say that that position was taken at the time when the party was created, and we need Congress to sit before any election can be.
Okay, Barrister, we really have a hard time. I think the audience, including myself, we have a hard time getting what you are saying. Please stay there, just stay where you are. I am going to put you on phone. We will be seeing you, but I will mute the volume of your camera there and put you right on the phone. Can we do that? I can put you on the phone directly.
Yes, you can use a different number because using my phone internet connection for the images. So let me give you by which you can get me.
I will call you on the regular line.
Yes, 678.
Okay, no, don't give your number. Don't give your number. I got it. So please, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Let us adjust this connection here. Let's get a better audio. So please don't go away. Stay tuned. I will be right. We'll be right back.
We will never see you again. We will never see Don't tell me about We will never see you again. We will never see Don't tell me about We will never see you again. We will never see Don't tell me about We will never see you again. We will never see Don't tell me about We will never see you again. We will never see you again. We will never see you
Ladies and gentlemen, our apologies for that interruption. It's not an easy task to get the lines flow from ground zero. We thought we had a really good connection until when we came on air to find out that the video looks great, but the audio just did not look the same. So I hope that you can bear with us, but I have tried to connect to Barrister Ashu by phone, and let's see whether we have a little better connection. Hello, Barrister Ashu.
Hello, Chris. Good evening.
Thank you. Please turn down the volume of your laptop or the set in the background and focus on the phone, so that we can eliminate that echo. All right. So we were talking about your party registered in La République, and yet you are one of the most outspoken Amba or Southern Cameroon activists on ground zero. How do you reconcile the fact that you have a party registered with French Cameroon and at the same time an activist or an advocate for the Southern Cameroon cause? How do you reconcile that?
Well, my party was registered at a time when their cause was not on, and it's 20 years plus. And as I said, it's a national party. That's a party that covers the entire nation. In fact, when it was created by 1,000 Cameroonians throughout the national territory. So, in fact, I just happen to be the national president. It is not my party. I was elected national president, and any other person can be national president. You see, when this party was created, it was created for the entire Cameroon.
So, are you saying that? Yes, go ahead.
As to the nationalistic cause, you see, I stand for the truth. I stand for the rule of law, as I said. You see, we should not see one brother as wanting to treat the other one as a slave or as some servant, and unjustifiably in itself what he ought not to have. So that's the reason why I stand firm and I say, give to Caesar what is Caesar. You cannot take an independent state and treat it as if you were some small council or some territory without a citizen. So that is the reason why I stand firm, because I stand for the rule of law. I stand for the internationally recognized identity of the people of Southern Cameroon, and I think that these people are entitled, our people are entitled to enjoy the state food that they had before even the Republic of Cameroon could aspire to independence.
All right. I just wanted to get that aside so that you do not look in your advocacy, you do not look like saying one thing and doing the other. So let's get to these window dressing reforms. These window dressing reforms that La République continues to carry out to evade a genuine negotiation process for this conflict. Let's start with the Grand National Dialogue. You came out and viciously attacked that process, and right after that process, they legislate their bilingualism, so-called national bilingualism law, in which lawyers like yourself would have to address French magistrates and French lawyers and French attorney generals, French clerks in Ambazonia. What are you lawyers thinking now that that law has been enacted? What are you people thinking now?
Well, you see, the situation is that we have in place a group of people who think that their duty authority is to do everything to maintain the status quo. You see, when they try one thing, it says they try the other. Now, at the risk of bringing lawyers back to the street, they carry this obnoxious rule of the bill on bilingualism, which they are tabled to the parliament. And we have noticed inside this bill that Articles Sections 19, 22, and 26 are really offensive. Now, when they tell you that debates in constitutional organizations are supposed to take place either in English or in French, and they want to tell you that English and French are official language. Now, that is very difficult because let us take one. If you are in the parliament and they say the debate to take place either in English or in French, that simply means that if they choose that it will take place in English, then those who are speaking French have nothing to say. If they say it's taking place in French, in English, and in French, then those who are speaking the English have nothing to say. So you see, there is a problem with that formulation. You cannot, it is not tenable to say that in a bilingual country, debate can be either in English or in French. You have to give room for everybody to express itself. The problem that really concerns us is that when they come to the courtroom, they say, debate in the court can take place either in English or French. They know that is not possible. Because the court has its language. A common law court cannot speak in French. There's no way. A civil law court cannot speak in English. There is no way you can correct that.
So my question is, what are you common law lawyers thinking right now with the passage of that law?
Well, the law is the bill is still in the Senate. It has not yet been made law, and the Cameroon Bar Council has taken up the fight, which was started by the Bamenda lawyers and the Faco lawyers. We are saying that bill cannot be made law because it is really offensive. It means that after 3 years of legal battle, we are going back to step one because it is a negation of everything that we have fought for. So it is no longer the matter of only civil common law lawyers. The entire Bar Council has taken up this bill and we have to make sure that fight is not just the fight of common law lawyers, it is all the lawyers of Cameroon because it is something that affects everybody. I mean, if you come to a common law court and they tell you that a judgment can be written in any language, it simply means that they can appoint a person who will come to a common law court.
So, if I may stop you there, if I may stop you there a little bit. So, if that bill is still in the Senate, are the lawyers doing anything to stop that being passed, or have you heard anything coming filtering out of the Senate as to whether or not they will pass the bill?
I said the Cameroon Bar Council has taken up the fight.
Okay.
The Bar Council that speaks for all of that has taken up the fight, and it is the Bar Council that is battling with them. So the Bar Council will tell us what we have to do because we reproach them that when they are supposed to do the fight, they didn't do anything. So this time around, the Bar Council has taken up the fight, and we are sure that they are going to match the government with all the measures.
When the lawyers who started this conflict in the first place in 2016, when took to the streets protesting the Ohada laws, the translation and stuff, we remember the French minister of was it defense or who it was saying that people should not mind that when the lawyers are hungry, they will go back to the courts. The Minister of Justice, yes, he said, right, he said when the lawyers are hungry, they will go back to the court. The lawyers got hungry, went back to the court, and now we see what the same people, French Cameroon, they are trying to do. Do you think it was a wise thing for lawyers to go back to court after that protest?
Well, the lawyers didn't back to court, as the minister said. It took about 2 years, 2 years of boycott, and the lawyers went to the court far beyond the minister's expectation. He thought that people were going to rush back to the court immediately, but that did not happen. You see, anyway, you can notice that the Bar Council, the General Assembly changed the president of the Bar Council. We voted in a new one because we said the one who was then in Canada did not defend our interests. So we replaced him with Shakur Desaki, who is more favorable to the interest, defending the interest of lawyers. So this time around, well, you can see that the Cameroon Bar has put in 1 week of the court to impress on the government that we are against the violation of human rights.
But Barrister, if I may stop you there, what stops Ambazonian Southern Cameroon lawyers from forming their own bar council and walking away from the French Cameroon, so-called Cameroon Bar Council?
Thank you for that question. If you look at the history of the Cameroon Bar, it was the West Cameroon Bar that was existing at first. It's the West Cameroon Bar that was transformed into the National Bar. I don't see any law that brought that bar to an end. There is no law. We just simply join, got the colleagues together, and the new some law was put up in Parliament in 1972. In 1972. So, legally speaking, there is no law that put an end to the West Cameroon Bar that existed. That legally existed since 1955.
So what do you need? What do you lawyers need? You need somebody to spearhead and go back to it, or what would it take? What do you lawyers need to say, hey, let's go back to the Southern Cameroons and reconstitute the Southern Cameroons Bar Association? Can that be done? Is there no courageous person like you to champion that move?
As I'm saying, there is no law that has abrogated the West Cameroon Bar. There is not. And the only problem now.
Barrister, I think I lost you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Because
hello? 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 Hello, Barrister, can you hear me? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think I lost Barrister Emmanuel. We are communicating by phone, so do not mind the image you find on your screen there. We were communicating by phone, and suddenly I lost him. We thought we had a good connection from ground zero, but unfortunately that connection isn't what we thought. The video looks wonderful, but the audio has a problem. Barrister, can you hear me? Can you hear me on your set now? Can you hear me by way of your camera? Hello, Barrister, can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, I will try one more time to connect him. by phone to see. Maybe a lot of people got him disconnected as he spoke to us here. Let me see. I can re-establish a connection. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot get Barrister Ashu back on the network. I can't get connected to him neither by phone or no by camera. Of course, we can connect by camera, but the audio is not good at all. It's just not a good connection by way of audio. So I am going to do a few other things and take your phone calls, hoping that maybe we can re-establish connection. So if we can re-establish connection, I will bring him back on. I will bring him back on. So while we are waiting to see whether we can re-establish that connection, I will bring to you a number of updates and take some of your calls, if any, take some of your calls for any subject, anything that you may have in your mind concerning the revolution. Now, a statement came out from ARC, the Ambazonian team, negotiation team, and we heard some detractors putting some audios out, trying to, being very critical of that statement. I want to admit to you, I was part of the team that worked on that statement. I want to tell you that, yes, some errors were made. Some errors were made. It was kind of it was rushed out, and without proper proofing of that document. Nothing was intended, such as we now hear detractors putting out in audio messages. So that statement was withdrawn and rewritten and proved, and I think it is back out right now in its intended form. So please, a number of times you will find these mistakes, but know that there are still human beings over here working on statements like that one. So that has been corrected. We will continue to work and do our best. When errors come up, we will correct them. I'm sure you, most of you read the apology from Bo Herbert on that statement. That was the right thing to do. Again, the statement was withdrawn, corrected, and it is back out there again, intended for its purpose, and the language corrected, and the proofs also corrected. So please let us move on. Let's not give room to detractors to detract us from our goal of negotiation. So again, I would like to open the phone lines. This broadcast was meant entirely for Barrister Ashu. In his absence, I will open the phone lines and take a few phone calls from some of you. If you have any question on the state of the revolution, on ground zero, on the diaspora, on individual groups, please call the number you find on your screen now. I'll be more than willing to take your questions and to answer them. So please go ahead and make the phone call. All right. I think I got the first caller here. Hello.
Hello, Chris. Good afternoon where you are, and good evening to those in the ground on the ground zero.
You're calling from ground zero?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for calling. What zone are you calling from, please?
It's in the northern zone.
Okay. And what is your contribution, sir?
I would just like to say that in our revolution like this one, we should know that there are going to be mistakes, and these mistakes should not be like a weakness among the leaders. Though we have a lot of factions and we have a lot of activists who are surrogates of different people. And I would love to say that something came out today, like an error that was in the statement that you people put out the Ambazina coalition team. So it's very important for you people to understand that things like this will come. When they come, it should not be like maybe the person who was scrutinizing the statement that was put out before submitting it did a mistake, and maybe activists who are supporting a particular person in the coalition team should be against that person. So we should always know that we are liable to mistakes, and those mistakes should not be making some people to lay blames on others. We all should work as a team.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. Ladies and gentlemen, I will try one more time to see I can get Barrister Ashu. I will try one more time to see I can get Barrister Ashu. So give me a moment, please. Let me try that and see. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got back Barrister Ashu online by phone. Barrister, when you left, we were talking about why Ambazonian lawyers, Southern Cameroon lawyers, cannot just walk away from the French Cameroon system and start their own bar council.
That cannot be possible now because, as you know, there is nobody controlling the entire territory. And you see, when you talk of an Anglophone bar, include the magistrate.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Yes, you see, the common bar is not something that you can just walk away from or walk into. The common law bar includes the judiciary, the magistrate. In fact, magistrates are recruited from the lawyers. So you cannot, it's not possible to have a situation where lawyers walk away, because the common law bar is not just lawyers, it is the lawyers and the magistrate and everything judiciary. So if you want to create a real common law bar, you need the magistrate to be part of it, and that is not possible under the present dispensation, because the magistrates are under the payroll of the government.
So, playing the devil's advocate here, assuming that the Senate passes the bilingualism bill, what are our lawyers going to do?
Well, I said either the Bar Council has taken over the fight, and we are waiting for their direction, because they are not going to take it lying down. They are coming up with an appropriate response.
All right. Thank you for that. Now, let's talk about the so-called special status that is going on, that they are trying to prescribe for us. The first question I would ask you is, as somebody who is on ground zero, on the other side, When we say La République du Cameroon has no right, absolutely no right to decide what we become, what are they saying? What are Francophones saying on ground zero?
Thank you. You see, the real problem here is that the population understands the situation very well and is not in agreement with the government, because many people are saying that it is the government that is the problem. Because the government is taking a line of action that the people don't like. In fact, you will have some parties like MRC that are coming out vocal now to denounce this government and say that what they are doing is not correct. It's not correct. It's illegal. You cannot talk of historical heritage, and then when you want to ask you deny that heritage, you deny everything history. You act as if you were living in some bottle that is cooked, and whatever happens does not affect you, which is wrong.
So are you by this? Are you by this saying that Francophones are buying? I mean, Francophones, not their government. Francophones, are they buying the idea that their government has no right, no special powers to appoint some special status for Amazonians?
Exactly. If you like to listen to all the radio stations, radio and TV stations here, there's only one station one or two that will show the government line.
Which one is that?
Are very critical. Well, you have the John Carter TV.
Okay.
From those two, the rest are very critical.
Okay. So they are saying, as we are saying, that their government, French Cameroon, has no special powers to appoint some special status to all of us Amazonians.
Correct.
And what is their opinion, especially their intelligentsia? What is their opinion on an independent Amazonia? Are they having a change of mind, or they still think of a one and indivisible Cameroon?
The Francophones generally, I want you to understand that the Francophones generally are saying that the government does not understand that Cameroonians love themselves, and that Cameroonians are brothers, that we should stop that crazy war and manage the country as a father would manage his children. You see, so what I'm saying is that it's complete dichotomy between what the population thinks and what the government is doing. They don't have any support from the people, and you can be sure of that. Very few people, the people will even support, will even toe the government line. In fact, it's at a stage where all the people we see doing government lines are doing so on other basis. If you understand me, I don't want to go back.
Yes. So,
the population says that it is time for the government to do things correctly. They should correct the wrongs of 1961 instead of maintaining this line of evil.
So when they say correcting the wrongs of 1961, are they saying that they endorse a free Southern Cameroons?
Well, they are saying that the decision of the form of the state belongs to the people, and the government should allow the people to choose what form of the state they want.
So tell me the reaction of the Francophone intelligentsia elite about what they feel about this special status.
Well, they feel that the special status bringing in decentralization is a good thing. I mean, the law on decentralization is nice, but that particular empty special status is a wrong idea. That if the government were minded to restoring and the whole state will be go outright and come out with a federal system that will give the African legislature power to legislate. That is what idea so far.
And what do you yourself think about the special status?
It's an empty basket. I've said so before. You cannot talk about a special status, which simply means granting a regional council issues of an assembly whose only power is consultative may be consulted. An assembly that can only deliberate, we can make no law. An assembly that will be governed, that will be led by the executive. It has happened nowhere in the world. No assembly, except in the dictatorship that you have, an assembly being run by the executive. That is one organ swallowing up the other. What they are proposing is not workable under a democracy, because in a democracy, an assembly is the legislative organ. And if they are creating an assembly that cannot legislate, that may be consulted on certain issues. Not really on two particular issues. When it comes to the system of education, or when it comes to the common law, how can somebody who has no knowledge of something sit in his place and take decisions of consulting the person who knows what is happening and who has to suffer the wrong? So we are saying that that special status is an empty basket that ought not to have even come to the table.
And what are the chiefs saying about the reconstitution of the House of Chiefs? Is it an idea they embrace if you have spoken with any of them?
I hear some of them saying it is a nice idea to reform the House of Chiefs. But if you are reforming a House of Chiefs and ask them to go sit and drink Matango, then there's no need. They should have a House of Chiefs that can proceed to do normal business, not a place where they go and sit idle and have only their Matango to drink.
Now, do you see this special status bill actually going through their parliament? I know that it's a rubber stamp parliament, everything goes, but with international opposition and local opposition to it, do you see it going through, even the bilingualism bill?
Well, you saw the way they carried the bilingualism bill in the parliament. It was voted by the president alone. Now it has gone to pass to the Senate, and courageous senators are standing up to tell the people this type of thing is.
Hold on. Did you say the bilingualism bill was voted by the president alone? Which president?
That's what I said, sir.
The president of the assembly or the president of French Cameroon?
Alone, yes. No, president of the assembly. The president voted his bill alone. Nobody voted.
So, are you saying that even French Cameroon members of parliament did not vote for the bill?
Nobody voted the bill. All the proposals that they made for changes, they rejected them. We drew the bill and only brought it back to say that it was voted against them to the bill.
So it was essentially not voted, but they promoted it to the Senate with the information that Parliament voted.
That's what it did.
So do you see the same thing happening with the special status bill?
Well, the special status bill is being heavily debated, and it may have some small changes. I don't expect anything substantial from it.
So do you see?
I don't expect anything substantial because.
Did you see the parliamentarians again staying away from it?
Well, the opposition parliamentarians and even some citizens will not want to go ahead with that special status activity because it is really empty. It's empty. The other part of the decentralization is good. It is really good about the 80%, but the part of special status is completely empty. And it is a contradiction to constitutional law. I mean, students who are in schools and universities who go through that nonsense, I mean, they will have a problem of conscience. And how do you reconcile when they talk of a state having three organs, executive, legislative, and judiciary? They tell you that the legislative in a social system is going to be run by the executive. How do you reconcile that? I mean, it doesn't pass. So, they want to do something to please their boss, but I don't think it will have any effect.
So if I may ask you, we have asked, and when I mean we, I mean Ambazonians, we have asked that all Ambazonian parliamentarians, senators, withdraw as they did, as our parents did in 1953. We have asked that they withdraw from French Cameroon Parliament. What is your take on that?
Well, it is very possible for us then all to withdraw. But you see, if it comes to voting that bill, whether they are there or not, the bill will vote.
Correct, but then
Withdrawing from the parliament. As a matter of, if they are withdrawing from the parliament in protest, to say that we are not part of you, well, that will have an impact.
yeah, it will have an impact.
Very serious impact, because it's serious impact.
Correct, and that is what we are saying, because every moment they sit in that parliament, whether they vote or they don't vote, they oppose, they don't oppose, they are legitimizing every action carried out in that parliament, correct?
That's correct. That's very correct.
So, would you join us in your outings to say the right thing to do is for this parliament to quit? Because what is the need being in parliament and you cannot influence one legislation? What is the need being in parliament and your part of the country is burning and that parliament does not as much as care to bring up legislation to debate what goes on in that part of the country?
Well, you see, that question is a very good one. But, you know, in the parliament, things are done on party lines. And I don't happen to have any parliamentarian inside there. So, I cannot tell the NJ parliamentarian to me because I am not their boss. I cannot talk to senior parliamentarian to me. I am not their boss. They cannot speak to me. But you see,
But you have a very strong voice. You have a very strong voice and a strong opinion, and that people respect on ground zero.
I agree with you. I am saying that if that were to happen, it will have a very strong impact, because that would mean that the parliamentarians, for them to go for themselves, have slammed the doors on the parliament, and that means that they are not part of it. Anyway, you see, as we are going forward now to the parliamentary election, we are moving towards that situation, because with most of the candidates withdrawing, you will come to a situation where there will be nobody to vote them in parliament. So, I mean, we are moving towards it. You don't really need to tell anybody to go or not to go.
Yeah, but the problem there is that you still have parties, CPDM parliamentarians and councillors, CPDM parliamentarian councillors in different communities registering to stand elections, and we know what the CPDM does. They will just at the end of the day endorse the list they won to say, hey, these are the people who won the election. If they had resigned, taken off their names, there will be no list to endorse by the CPDM at the end of the day after the elections. So that's why we think that walking away from it is the right thing to do. We have seen some doing so. I mean, Honorable Awudu did a great job by walking away. I thought Honorable Fritz actually I should not call them honorable, they are deplorables. But they walked away. They walked away, and I thought others will copy. Others are learning the hard way. Only a few days ago, we had the residence of deplorable Mbandam burnt down in his own hometown. Why do you think the rest are not yet getting the lesson?
Well, you see, if you remember very well, Mr. Kamto, that he cannot be part of any election until the crisis is over. And I think that is a very strong message that should be given to you by all the parliamentarians, because if Kamto can stand up and say no elections because this thing is capital, it won't be done, then the parliamentarians should know that they should not continue to enable the government to continue with its obnoxious policies. So I think that it's a matter of all the parliamentarians even standing up to say we don't want this nonsense anymore. Let us give